Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. You know, as a mother, I know my kids need me and their father. There are a lot of children in Northern Virginia that don't have the luxury of either, and many of them find themselves in foster care. The question is, what happens when they grow out of foster care and they don't have anyone there to guide them or help them along the way? And joining me today is Ramon Montes, and he is helping with his organization, the Regratifying Foundation, helping guide those young people into success and into their future after leaving foster care. So welcome, Ramon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. I think that this is something that people feel really strongly about, helping young people when their families are in trouble, but they forget that we're with our children for their entire lives, and these children don't have the luxury of a support system. So tell me how you started your organization.
Many years ago, I was a foster parent, and I did adopt my son from foster care, and that's how I kind of learned about the ins and outs of the foster care system, and I learned a lot about trauma. But you know, that wasn't really what made me want to start this organization. It wasn't until I met somebody who was in foster care and became really successful, and after that, I made me realize, like, wow, you know, you rarely hear that many success stories from people from foster care. So when I did the research of you know, to see the success rate for these kids, I started thinking, well, what can, you know, when I saw how bad it was, I started thinking, well, what can I do to help these kids become successful based on all the stuff that I've learned about foster care and these youth in foster care. And so I created a program that's really tailored for these kids. And you know, my program, it's an all-year-long program because I know these kids need consistency, so I want to have that resources that they need so that way they can be successful.
Well, so in foster care, your clothing is covered, you have a roof over your head, and you've got you know, a place to live. But the long-range planning, the kind of mentoring that you need to prepare yourself for adulthood, that a lot of young people have, they don't. So tell me about some of the components of your program.
The whole point of the program is to make sure that these kids do have a career goal before they leave foster care, because most of these kids don't. They just leave foster care and then they're being homeless, or then they're in poverty. So what we try to do is give them, show them what's out there, what type of careers that they can really focus on. Then we help them get there. Either it's a trade school, a four-year university, or community college, but we're always trying to help them so that way they have some form of success rate.
Well, and you're also giving them a vision of the future when they're living in probably a traumatic situation right now. And because social workers and communities refer these young people to you, you don't really know what their situation is. Every situation is different, right?
Correct.
So you meet them where they're at, and then you show them you care, and then you try to get them on this path. What does a program like that cost to you know, get a young person on that path towards success?
For each kid, it's probably around $1,000 probably for the way that our program is structured for one youth to be there for a full year. But you know, but we also have other things that we work on with the kids.
Well, in addition to your year-long program, you mentioned that there's some summer things and internships that you kind of help them get set up.
Correct. What we try to do is we kind of work with organizations, and we try to give them some form of job experience. And those type of projects, they learn, you know, how to work with other people, communication skills, strategies, and there's so many different things that, you know, we try to help them build these skills. So that way because most of these kids don't have any job experience, so we want to make sure that they have something to put on their job resume.
So at the foundation, though, little by little, you're building confidence and trust, And there are some organizations that have stepped up to help you in this task. Tell me who they are. Who are your sponsors?
Well, the organization for those specific job projects, I mean, those right now we work with May Brigade, and this summer we'll be working with Marriott in Tyson's Corner.
That's fantastic.
So right now we just finished the sessions that we're going to be working on with the kids, the whole project, and it's going to be great. I think the kids are really going to be excited about this type of job opportunity that they're going to be able to get.
Now, the first time you held this program, you had 18 students. This year you have 14. Tell me a little bit about the outcomes that people can expect, as opposed to what happens when young people who leave the system don't really have that guidance?
For our first year, for our outcomes, we had such a high return rate from these kids. I mean, these kids, it's hard for these kids to commit. So seeing a lot of these kids come back for the second year is really good.
It's a great success.
Correct. And we have a lot of kids who told us also that they want to focus on a specific career. And I think it's with our program, once they tell me, I want to become an electrician, I set them up with a mentor from that field, so that way they can learn more about it. And so instead of, when we have our career courses, we have people who come in and do presentations about what type of careers that are out there. But once a kid tells me what they want to focus on, I get a mentor from that profession, and they come to the course, and they work with the youth at the same time.
I know that people are going to want to support you by either bringing their business to you and being a company that sponsors or perhaps hires these young people, or there might be mentors out there. So how do people get in touch with you to support the Regratifying Foundation?
They can go to our website, regratifyingfoundation.org, and they can find a lot of information of what we do, all the information regarding our program and different ways that they can help.
Well, I want to thank you, Ramon, so much for the work that you're doing. Congratulations on your beautiful family.
You.
I'm sure you're a great dad.
Thank you.
And I want to thank all of you for watching this edition of the Sustainable Scoop. I'm Miriam Gennari. Back to the news desk.